What's Up with the Planets, March 14th to March 20th. We have a full moon in Virgo happening this week, and then we're starting the Spring Equinox on the last day of the week. I'm Juliette, your Scorpion goddess. Alright, so what's up, you guys? It's me, Juliette, your Scorpion goddess, and I'm going to be doing the What's Up with the Planets. So we're going to check in and see what is the forecast of what are the planets doing this week and how is it going to affect us as a collective. And then I'm going to get into my tarot and then oracle cards with the Moonology deck because we have that full moon in Virgo happening. Now, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe. And if you guys really enjoy these videos, please make sure that you like and comment because I like to see what you guys have to say and how these videos affect you and resonate. And it also helps the algorithm on YouTube as well. And it'll keep feeding out there. So I put this energy out for you. You guys can do the same in return by just being like, hey, I like this or this, blah, 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 blah. So yeah. So few announcements before we get into all of this. I have my astrology journal. The description box, the link is dropped down below. I have the pre-sale happening. It started on the 11th and it's going up until Saturday the 19th. I am almost sold out. There are only 3 journal books left. So if you want to purchase yours, you gotta get on it because I'm about to be sold out and I will have to reorder some new books very soon. This astrology journal entails all of the astrological transits and dates, the main ones for the new year, which begins on March 20th, the end of this week. And it has some new moon and full moon guidance pages, pages to jot down notes, a check-in. You get to rate each month. There are calendars for each month. And in the calendar, it'll have the symbols of what's happening for each date. Like Gemini goes into Mercury this day. There is a key chart to understand what the hell does this symbol even mean? There is a glossary to break down the basics of everything, and this is for people who are just interested in astrology all the way up to the pros and anybody in between. So if you know anyone that would be interested in this, or if you are, like I said, description box down below, the link will go directly to it, and it is 10% off up until the 19th for the pre-sale. I'm also going to be pulling from a deck I'm still relatively new and trying to understand, but in honor of St. Patrick's Day and my native Irish roots, I'm going to be pulling some tree cards from this Celtic oracle deck my Nana actually got for me for Christmas. So I'm going to be pulling this and I'm going to read what the card means from the book because, like I said, I'm still studying and trying to learn a lot of this stuff and really connect more with my roots itself. Whatever. Anyways, so let's get into this week. So Monday and Tuesday, we are starting out the moon in Leo. But there's going to be a T-square happening in these fixed signs, which, if you guys remember, squares bring out conflict, stress, challenges. And with the T-square happening in fixed signs with the Leo moon and Uranus in Taurus, fixed signs are very stubborn and set in their ways because I know best. I know this, this, and this. So this T-square happening on Monday and Tuesday, conflicts could arise. Stress could be like heavily induced, right? There could be a lot of anxiety. There could be this sense of like, I keep getting told no, or getting hit like by this brick wall and I can't seem to break through whatever this is. There could be some surprises that are brought to like the forefront that we don't really like. It could be, like I said, a challenge brought up to us with Uranus, that the surprise effect, and with this T-square happening, it could be a challenging surprise. It could also be this push that we really need. Like, how bad do you want whatever this thing is, whatever this goal is? How bad do you actually want it? What are you willing to do? How many no's do you need to get until it depletes you, or you keep pushing through? Like, how bad do you really want it? So Monday and Tuesday is going to be that challenging kind of feeling. And then when we get into Wednesday, then the moon is going to be transitioning into Virgo as we're approaching this Virgo full moon. So then we'll be in the effect of those energies, because full moons we always tend to feel 3 days before and 3 days after. So Wednesday, we're starting to feel this peak of this releasing, but we're going to be having Wednesday and going into Thursday as well, this really nice trine effect with a lot of Earth planets. So we'll have Pluto and Uranus, and then the moon as well, bringing this nice Earth trine of grounding. So whatever challenges we may have had Monday and Tuesday, when we get to Wednesday and then going into Thursday, we're going to have this, okay, I feel grounded. I know what steps I need to make. Or I'm also seeing the people who really did not have my back, their truth really came to light, and now I'm able to move more with ease and grace in letting these people or situations out of my life, because we're approaching this full moon. Now, when we get into Thursday, there's going to be a lot of really great energies happening, but I do want to say that Thursday is St. Patrick's Day, and we are having some opposing effects with Neptune and Jupiter will be opposing. So there could be this effect of overindulging in alcohol, and because of St. Patrick's Day, you guys know the vibe. So that could be an effect. So try not to overdo it on St. Patty's Day is all I'm saying. But then when we get into Friday, in the early part of the day, we will have that Virgo full moon hitting at 27 degrees Virgo. Now 27 degrees is a Gemini degree, I believe. 24. Yeah, it's a Gemini degree. So this could be really giving us this vocalization, or even like these great ideas coming in, or even just figuring out the pieces to the puzzle of what really doesn't work anymore, and how to really recycle that part of our lives out for good. And this full moon is very symbolic, because not only is it a full moon, you know, that bring in releasing, letting go, a culmination, a completion. 6 months ago during the Virgo new moon, what were you working on? How is that finally completed itself? But it's also symbolic in the fact that it is the last full moon of the entire astrological year. So we're wrapping up these past 12 months, this past entire season. So what are we really letting go of before we get into that spring equinox and step into Aries season? This full moon in Virgo is going to really affect mainly the mutable signs, starting with a Virgo because it's in your sign, and then Pisces, which is your sister sign, and then after that the Gemini, Sagittarius, and then the earth signs, Taurus and Capricorn. But everybody will be affected by this full moon, of course, because we're all under the same universe of planets. And depending on where you have Virgo, if you have a sun or rising Virgo, or wherever in your chart, your natal chart, you can kind of decipher how it will have a bigger effect on you. So this Virgo full moon is giving us this like earthy, groundy, pragmatic, organized, pretty much very good energy. So it's really emphasizing this spring cleaning. This spring is finally coming. Spring is finally here, just about. And Virgo is a very clean, hygienic, tidy energy. So because we're about to be in the new year, this is why you hear a lot about spring cleaning, because Virgo is all about being very meticulous and wanting this to be in this place and recycle this out. So we're going to have that energy as well. So Friday would be a really great time to really just go through the stuff in your house and really just get rid of what doesn't resonate with you. If you have stuff that you're like, oh, you know, I'm going to get to these books eventually, or I'm going to get to this video game at some point, and it's been sitting there for like 4 years now. Get rid of it. You're not going to use it. You're not. Just get rid of it, because what is the point of holding on to it, really? So you can keep saying that you're going to get back to it, even though you know damn well it's been 4 years and you haven't touched it. If you have not touched something within 6 months, or you haven't even used it in 6 months, get rid of it. Get rid of it. There is literally no point in holding on to something you have not used in the last 6 months. If you have a memory or something attached to it, if this is like an antique or something your family member had passed down that means something to you, and you have an actual full-on 100% I love this thing, then put it somewhere where it can be put to use or used as a shrine, whatever. But if it's something you're like, oh yeah, you know, I do kinda, sorta, get rid of it. Get rid of it. If you're not 100% invested in it, get rid of it. That's what Virgo wants. Virgo is very meticulous. How attached is this for? How attached this item? It, you know, whatever. Oh, it's not serving a purpose. I don't want it. Get rid of it. I'm very critical. I know what's best for me in my space, in my energy. Use that kind of Virgo energy to your best, I don't know, knowledge. So yeah, and then after that, when we get into the weekend, later on Friday, the moon will transition into Libra, and same following into Saturday. So these energies that we use with the full moon of letting go, we're still going to be feeling that going over into the weekend. So we can really use this Libra full moon to rely on people that are close in our lives, partners. We may even hear some kind of news if you have been waiting for some kind of like legal information or something in that kind of matter. Over the weekend, you may hear of something, or something may come about where you're going to need something like that. So you'll need somebody to lean on or rely on in that kind of way. And then when we get to March 20th, it is going to be officially the new year in astrology terms. So it'll be the spring equinox, and the moon. So the sun will be going into Aries on the 20th. So we're starting a new season. So we're now in this fire cardinal energy where we're like, I'm ready to get stuff going. I'm ready to have that energetic flow. I'm ready to start and begin something new, that cardinal energy. And then we're also going to be having the moon in Scorpio. Now, Aries and Scorpio are very, very similar because they both have Mars as their ruler. Scorpio is also ruled by Pluto, but Aries and Scorpio have that Mars ruling. So it can get us into this very focused energy and ready to put and plan into something that we really want. And we know we're passionate. We know we're extremely passionate about it. But there can also have that like vengeance, revengeful, possessive energy coming in as well. So just be aware of where is your energy being directed on Sunday. Where are you really redirecting whatever it is, especially starting out the new year. You want to be very mindful of what you're doing, where your thoughts are going. So this could also be a good time to really meditate and figure out, what kind of goals do I have for this brand new year that we're welcoming in with this Scorpio moon? So putting those manifestations together can be very powerful. Just again, being mindful about what you're doing. You know what I mean? So yeah, make sure you get your astrology journal so then you can take notes of how this new year is going to affect you. What is the energy of this week for the collective? What are some messages that everybody needs to know and hear right now? We got the Four of Coins and the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. What else do we have? I think there's a risk that you got. Yeah, that's the Page of Pentacles. There's this risk of something that you need to take this leap. You need to take this risk. It's going to be worth it. you have put a lot of thought into, is this worth it? Should I do this? Am I able to actually pull this off? Can I trust this person? I feel like there's this like, you can't do everything on your own. You need to have a team or someone that can help you out. And this is saying to go out and take that risk because it's going to benefit you. You can trust it. You're trying to branch yourself out and take this new leap of faith, this new journey. You're ready for a new beginning. And this is something that is, you have a solid foundation in the step that you do want to take. And there is this person, this may be somebody you don't know that well, but you have an inkling that you can trust this person to help you grow from taking this risk to really launch off into the next step, the next chapter in your life. And this is saying, if you've been going back and forth, should I do this, should I not? The answer is yes. I'm also seeing that this is a time that maybe some of us need to get back into reading or studying or even taking a class or a course to freshen up our studies, or something that we know very well about, but it's time to study a little bit more. And there's something new, there's a new perspective. This could also give that, I thought I like had mastered this whole course, right? But you're like, I want to go back and just kind of refreshen up, and then there's stuff that just comes to you where there's a lot of ideas and stuff, and you're like, I need to, now that I've thought about this, I need to really put this out for the world so other people can learn. I'm getting a lot of like creativity and stuff like that can come from this, as art, or just information, classes, courses, reading, just brushing up on something that you felt like, hey, I know a lot about this, or whatever it is. This is a good time to get back into that. I feel like some people are already like planning on doing that anyways, like going back to school, or even with like you may be studying for like a test or something like that for this week also. Let's see what else is going on. You got the Six of Swords and the Two of Cups. You may be feeling yourself in like stuck in a pickle. Stuck in a pickle. I don't know why it's coming up, but you may be feeling like you're stuck in a pickle with somebody, and it's like, is it worth even dealing with this conflict or communicating with this person? Are they going to actually hear and see where I'm coming from? Is it worth it? I feel like there's a conversation or something with somebody that you've had so many times. Maybe it was something you've had in your mind, and it's like, I already know how this person's going to perceive the information, and there's no point. It's time to move off in my own direction. And it's like, I think you've mentally already left this person. Now it's just actually like moving on your own, physically, like going in a new direction. This can also bring into, once you do that, connecting with someone else who may have been in a similar situation and having that genuine connection with someone else and getting what was lacking in this other relationship with somebody. And I'm seeing there's like it's like a genuine thing. It's a genuine connection. Queen of Cups. Yeah. It's like a genuine emotional connection too coming in. There's a lot of nurturing. With the moon. Holy crap. We are dealing with a full moon this week, you guys. You know. And I think there's going to be a lot of this like intuitive communicating happening, and this strong emotional intelligence coming in. We are still in Pisces season, and Mercury is also in Pisces. So that's where this could be coming from. You may be getting dreams and connecting with somebody in the astral realm and seeing the truth through that way and communicating in that place in this astral realm, or even just getting like, you know, you're going about your day and then you just get this gut intuitive feeling and you hear something and you're like, I knew it. You know, you may just get something that happens and there's no explanation that goes behind it except for like, I have this gut feeling. I know, I just know. I just know. And you can't explain what it is. And you know what? You don't have to explain what it is, because sometimes when a situation happens, it's not meant for anybody else to understand but you. And you don't need to explain yourself to anyone else. There could be something also happening with a mother figure in your life. There could be a conflict happening with a mother or a woman in your life. And sometimes things, I'm getting like, things may be said, but the best that you can do for yourself is speak your own truth. But sometimes the best thing you can do is just keep your mouth shut. Because if you know you're going to say some crazy stuff and then you're going to regret it later, keep your mouth shut. Because you could sometimes, I mean, wild and crazy things happen during full moons. And we have this Virgo full moon happening as well. And it's in that 27 degrees Gemini. So that could be where this is coming from right here. Something may pop off on the Virgo full moon. We have the Strength card coming out. So bringing in that grace and moving with ease. How can you be the bigger person if there is this conflict? You know, how can you be the bigger person in the situation? How can you communicate, right, emotionally, intelligently, or whatever? You guys know what I'm saying. How can you handle this mana in being the bigger person? And not for like their sake, but for yours, for your own peace, for your own inner peace. I feel like this week in general is a lot of inner stuff happening and working through, because we're in the 12th month, the 12th cycle. We have that full moon happening, so there's a lot of inner work happening because we're preparing ourselves for the end of the week when we step into Aries season. So there's a lot of stuff in that's just processing. And I think once we get towards this full moon, we're going to do a lot of that releasing. And I'm getting like somebody screaming in a pillow, throwing things out, just really like getting to that place of, I didn't know I had all of this built up in me, and I let it out, and I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders, and I feel so much lighter, and I feel so much better. And I have also seen how much I have grown as a person, because a year ago, last year, me wouldn't have handled this situation with so much grace and ease. And now I know I've got thicker skin, and I can handle whatever's thrown. I can handle whatever's being thrown my way, because I've grown emotionally and intuitively. I'm more intelligent, so I can handle these situations so much better. Boom. Now we're going to move on to the Moonology deck, and I want to see, because we got that Virgo full moon, so I want to see how is this Virgo full moon going to affect, what's some energy about this Virgo full moon we have coming up? What's going on with this Virgo full moon? All right. I got 4 cards. 4? Yes, 4. So we have a new moon in Libra with a new romantic cycle begins, and a personal issue reaches its resolution with the full moon in Cancer. A fiery climax approaches, the full moon in Aries, and adjustments are required, 3rd quarter moon. So like I said, this end of the year is a very symbolic full moon, because we're wrapping up 12 months of a cycle in the astrological calendar. We got 4 cards right here, and we have 4 seasons. So I think each of these really honestly have to do with wrapping up each of the 4 seasons we have finally dealt with. We're going from the spring to the fall to the spring, the summer, the fall, and then the winter. So we're getting this climax of we're ready to embark on something new, and we're very excited about it, but there are some adjustments that really need to be moved around and worked out from within, and we're in that processing phase. And I think we already do, like, we're self-aware of that kind of energy. It's just directing on how to really do that. We don't really know what's going on. I feel like we're in this place of, I can feel this change happening, but I just can't put my finger on exactly what it is, and I feel like I'm going crazy, but I'm not. And that's what I see. And for some of us, there is some kind of personal issues we may have been dealing with for the past 6 months, and it's finally going to find a resolution. And I think this is going to come from something you've been hearing for an extended amount of time, but finally something just clicks, and it's like, oh, now I get it. I've been hearing this the past 6 months. Now I finally understand what this phrase means. And with that, you can resolve whatever this personal issue has been for you. And with this new romantic cycle beginning, I think this has a lot to do with going into possibly the end of the week, where we are leaving the past relationships and people behind. And while we're doing that and letting those people and things go, we can finally step into having something new happen in this new energy to step into, and be able to invite that in with a new person, because we did get that 2 of Cups. So I think that that's going to be coming in for us as well. Now, like I said, I wanted to pull some of these Celtic tree oracle cards. I'm going to have to read from the book because I'm still trying to figure out and work with these. So I want to see, what is a Celtic tree and oracle message that we can all hear as we wrap up this astrological year. What is something that we need to know in here? Let's see. So, okay, this card, I pulled this twice before I even started recording. So this is really not just for me, but for everybody. So I got the silver fir, alum. Not really sure if that's the right pronunciation, but let's see. So with this card right here, the family name of the silver fir is Abyss or Abyss. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. But it comes from the verb abir, meaning to go away. Wow. So this is like really confirming this wrapping up. It's time to end something. Like, we're going away. We're pushing this out of our lives. We're done with it. So it's funny, when I pulled this card, I didn't read what it meant. I was just like, I want to see. I was going to look at it after, but now I don't need to. So referring to the great height or distance from the ground that these tall, slender trees can achieve, the Adam and Eve trees, a pair of silver firs planted by the Duke of Argyll in the early 17th century, and standing until recent times, reached of 130 and 124 feet, respectively. Silver firs grow in the mountainous regions on the upper slopes, overlooking the surrounding forests and reaching into the clear air towards the distant blue sky. So here is a tree that can see over a great distance to the far horizon and on greater realms beyond both through its own height and its elevated position on the mountainside. Choosing this card indicates long sight with a clear vision of what is beyond and yet to come. Coupled with this is the perception to see and understand from the point at which you are standing and rooted, taking a long viewpoint and foreseeing the future. So if we circle back into when I was talking about the first card I pulled, we are grounded in our foundation. And we're going into the end of the week on the 20th where the moon will be in Scorpio. We're setting out. Is that the word I want to use? Yeah, we're really setting out our long-term goals. We're starting this new year, just like I was talking about in the beginning of this reading. So this is just really confirming everything that I was seeing in the cards, and then just with what the planets are doing themselves as well. The silver fir is also the tree of the three Bridgets, portrayed with three faces or aspects, those of maiden or bride, celebrated in the spring. We're just like, Sunday the 20th will be the first day of spring. Oh my God. Matron ruling summer. I talked about the 4 seasons. Oh, wow. And fruitfulness, and the finally hag of the winter. Oh, the winter months, a continuous yearly cycle. She is also a smith, maker, healer, and seer. That's basically what I am. Wow. Choosing a silver fir card also confers the strengthening and healing learnt from your past and present lives, which should be a well from which to draw insight and knowledge for your future. The color silver links to your silver thread, symbolizing your awareness and progress on your spiritual journey, like I was talking about. Oh my God. Sometimes I'm like, I impress my damn self with the stuff that like comes out. Like, how can, wow. And this is for the collective. Like, this is for everybody. I'm just, wow. At times you will intuitively in tune with this. At others, there will be tangles and confusion. This card heralds a clear-sighted progress. If this card is shown reversed, oh, it's not reversed. So, that's awesome. Wow. Well, if it is reversed, it says the vision you need is clouded. You need to raise yourself you need to be basically more mindful, which I did talk about. It might have come out reversed for the collective, I can't remember, but either way, it's still bringing in this. Have a clear sight on the goals you want to reach. Be mindful. And wow, I'm impressed. Like, this is a really good reading, you guys. So please comment down below how this reading resonated for you, and make sure you subscribe and get your astrology journal before they all sell out. And make sure you follow me on all social media platforms as well. Check out the Media Virus podcast every Friday on Spotify or anywhere you can get a podcast. We go there. It is an 18+, and I will see you guys next week.